God morning. Good morning. Here's my little bower. Most of the bougainvillea has dropped. It was total bougainvilleas. This is where I sat for a couple of months when my God's still working on me, Spirit's still working on me, the Kundalini is still working on me. Doing my morning walk, barefoot, and very healthy, very helpful actually. So today's topic, time release truth. You may have heard that the truth is different at every level. The lie is different at every level, depending on which way you look at it from. And so one thing that I'm being upgraded on, or new memo from the universe. Boy, we got the yard guys really loud today. Don't think about it. Don't think about pink elephants. Anyway, so one thing I'm being upgraded on is this thing about telling truth. Helping people wake up. I'm going to make the new shirts. I'm going to make this even smaller, like just 2 inches. Tiny, so only the people that are supposed to see it when I'm at the checkout counter will go, what does that say? And then something may or may not happen. And it doesn't matter. It's none of my business. Other people's timing in their wake up is really none of your business. I'm allowed to handle dogs and dog poop pickup. That's my current job title. Whenever I need to give a job, I'm the dog poop picker-upper. I'm joking. Time released truth. Time told too soon, truth told too soon, overwhelms people. Think of the current matrix we're in. Culture, cult, the current cult. What happens to cult victims when they realize they've been part of a cult? It's horrible. It's a death. It's a grieving process. Rage comes out, a lot of pent-up, suppressed emotions explode. So when you're exploding pent-up emotions and suppressed emotions, which humans at this time on Earth, we have thousands of years, thousands of lifetimes for some of us, of programming, pent up, held back, karmas, sins, if you will, right? All that coming up at once, probably not a good idea. That truly becomes the zombie apocalypse. If you flip people out, when people drink and black out, are they fun to deal with? Just ask any cop or bartender. When people black out, they become Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They flip into other personalities. Some of those personalities are very scary and dangerous. So triggering people with too much truth, if they start flipping out, this happens in domestic arguments. This is why cops are loath to get involved with domestic situations. Because basically you're dealing with schizophrenic, normal, unfortunately, it's normal at this time that we're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as humans. So triggering it too soon, and then later, of course, they turn on you. Like, oh, the cops are evil. They both turn on you, right? So when you step in and try to help, it's the Messiah complex, the cop complex, trying to fix things, or you think you're helping. Too much truth, too soon. This is really what Spirit's working on me with about. There's a right timing to it. Think of your own process. If you knew everything you know now, if that had all been dumped on you when you were 17, would you have turned to drugs or killed yourself? Maybe. So there's a time release to truth. So with people that are still fluoridated, chemtrailed, matrixed, culturated in a cult, they're cultured like yogurt, all of a sudden to tell everyone the stark truth, whether it's spiritual truth or temporal 3D truth, meaning, let's say in the temporal 3D truth we would say, well, there's secret space programs, there's bases on Mars, there's horrible satanic pedophilia rings in many of the high people in the government and high places, whatever. If you tell all that truth too soon, people flip out. So a little truth at a time, and this is part of my old, there's some of a few people that have that job. David Icke has done the job for 30 years. He's told uncomfortable truths to the face of the controllers about whatever, right? And others as well. If that's not your job sanctioned by the universe, if you do it, it's really counterproductive. Time release truth. Truth at its right time. That's saying there's nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come. When it's the right timing for someone to wake up, a little nudge. Sai Baba used to say, he compared people in this metaphor to rocks. He said some rocks have been hit so many times that the last little nick on it, the rock falls apart, it opens up. It opens up our stony hearts, our stony chakra systems. And others need a lot of more time. So once Spirit's working with me to say, time release truth. The rule of 10%. Only if someone wants to hear something about the awakening, you know, looking behind the curtain, the little pudgy fat men and women that are running the great old wizard show, tell them 10%, then walk away. Tell them a little, drop a seed and walk away. If people are just waking up to the UFO thing, you know, you could say, well, you know, there's other programs that our government has that they don't tell us about. You know, other secret space stations. Some of those triangular craft that you see videos of sometimes, they're actually ours. But we haven't been told about them. There's technologies they haven't told us. Just drop that seed. Don't start talking about the Andromeda Galaxy and the 23. All right, I don't know if it reconnected. It cut me off there. Maybe, see? So that time release about the ETs, too soon for me to do, right? So it cuts me off. You can set up agreements with the universe that cut me off, delete the video, do whatever is necessary to keep me on track, you know. So at a certain point in the awakening, time release, the appropriate timing is key. God himself, God herself, God itself, the divine intelligence itself, super calibrates, super transduces, super gently only gives us what we're ready to handle. And even so, we almost tilt like pinball machines. We can't handle the truth, right? That's why we love that line from that Jack Nicholson says in A Few Good Men, because it rings true for all of us. You can't handle the truth, right? A few of us can. When you're ready, you can handle more. I'm going through a major truth upgrade, and I'm really grateful that God, Source, and the Masters, Sai Baba, Yogananda, Jesus, of course, Saint Germain, the real ones. There's lots of fake channeling. You got to learn to discern the real from the fake. El Moria, Kutumi, these are ascended masters. Emil, they're real. Hilarion, who's St. Anthony, St. Francis. So that's really far out. So helping people wake up, what's the loving thing? The loving thing is if you've got 100,000 volts going through you, or dynamite explosive information, how much of that awakening power, the pill, I forget which one that is, the red pill, I guess, in the Matrix, how much of that pill should be released into that person's system? Because if you give it all at once, it kills them. Morphine's good at its right time. All, not all pharma drugs, of course, but that's a whole other topic. But herbs need to be done in the right dosages. Herbs, natural herbs by Mother Nature, need to be done in the right dosages or you will overstimulate yourself. The truth is the same way. Time release, appropriate dosing of the truth. The key, you can never go wrong with effervescing truth. You may not say anything, but you can always sit and feel it. But even if you use that as a weapon, it's an unwise man who can't hide his wisdom. So God adjusts perfectly to the situation and may or may not give a little push, source, or a little hint towards greater awakening. Source may stay exactly where they're at and just enjoy the moment. So I'm getting a major upgrade on that. I got a little bit too into thinking we needed to wake the planet up now. Wake them up now! Wake up now! No. Appropriate time release. Appropriate timing. That's loving. And so that has to be done collectively, individually with God. You can set your own pace. Collectively, if you push on the collective, it pushes back and sacrifices you often. The mob turns on you. Hello, Golgotha. Right? The mob, the unconscious, feeds it. The collective unconscious gives power to, after all, who killed the Kennedys? After all, it was you and me. Mick Jagger says in Sympathy for the Devil. We create the devil. We create the deep state. We create the unconsciousness. That's why we love doggies. Because they're still pure and innocent in the sense that they're pretty direct and they don't play hidden occult games. They're pretty honest about what they want and don't want. Right? Time release truth. What do you think? Fill your own cup. Get off the mission. God is having me, Source is showing me, here's your oaths you had, Tobias. Your previous work, at one point I was going to take down all my videos and stop everything. We may still do the Course of Awakening, but it's going to have a whole different flavor, different vibration. In fact, I know I can't count on anything right now. We're starting up the webcasts again, and the webcasts are about, so Sundays, if you go to tobiaslars.com and sign up for the webcasts if you want. And the personal awakening methods, the innerbodyawakening.com, alchemyenergyprocess.com, theheartenergy.com, still incredibly powerful. I was watching something some new whistleblower was saying currently about the torus field and how it's used for souls. Well, that's what Spirit showed me. The heart energy is these torus fields, and it showed me how to move them with your breath. That's what that method is. It showed me that, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, and then I finally put it on the web about 10 years ago. It's kind of cool to realize the stuff you got directly is part of a universal principle of spiritual physics. I'm excited. I'm not fully out of the woods. And who knows? I'm on a short leash, so we put ourselves on our own short leashes. And at this time on earth, it's really about individual awakening. One awakened Buddha is worth 30 million crazy Antifa protesters or ISIS people or, whatever, marching in the street. One awakened Buddha is worth millions of crazy souls fighting for the truth. One awakened Buddha, one awakened Christ is more powerful and affects the collective more. That one ingredient you add to the soup, man, just makes it pop. You gotta be careful you don't over add that ingredient in the soup, right? Too much ginger, man, no good. When I get drinks at Whole Foods, used to, I make my own now. If they put too much ginger in it, I'd have to tell them, give me a third of the ginger, because they'd over ginger it and it would just destroy the whole drink. You'd have to force it down, it tasted like crap. Too much truth is like that. Force it down, tastes like crap, actually hurts people. So I'm learning, relearning, getting a little better. I still have relapses. About time release truth. There's nothing so strong as an idea whose time has come. And look at the awakening. It's happening incredibly quickly. Yes, the houses of cards are going to fall down. The political system is almost self-imploding right now. The media is starting to self-implode. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You don't have to do shit except sit and be with it inside yourself. And then if you're led to, if the universe suggests, prompts, tells you to do something, do it. Many people are going to have to go through the getting very angry and very scared phase still. They're still caught in the matrix, It's scary for me to wake up. This last year's been scary and dissolving, and I feel like a naked baby right now. I can't even handle my therapist's acupuncture treatments. I used to be acupuncture, big deal. Stick me with 100 needles, that's great. I used to go to the flotation tanks, 2 hours complete darkness. Now when I tried the flotation tank a few weeks ago, I traveled back into some Egyptian stone chambers. I got all claustrophobic and freaked out and had to open the lid. I was about to run out naked, Awakening is scary. Spiritual awakening is going to rock your reality. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's men, the matrix can't put you back together again. So compassion, right timing. The loving thing is no truth before its time. That's how God does it. That's how Mother Earth does it. Look how gentle Mother Earth is with lava flow in Hawaii. Now Mother Earth is getting a little bit insistent or a little PO'd. If we don't wake up now, bigger stuff may happen. And it still may happen. I don't know. I'm not privy to it. I'm just trying to maintain my own bodily temple at this time. All right, much love. No truth. Time release truth. No truth before its time. I know I've made videos on this before, but we all, as we evolve, we get it. It's like the concentric circles of the Russian dolls, but imagine a sphere. Unless you are a flatlander, then just, enjoy the flatlander thing. But it's all true. Ultimately, space and time doesn't exist. There's no shapes and all that. In the fourth and fifth dimension, yes, you can have a flat plane forever. So some of the confusion about all that is because people are tapping into 4 and 5D and they know that. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Much love. If you're interested in the webcast, join me there. We just do communion. I just try to hint at you reconnecting to God's source in your own ways, and whatever information is appropriate and sanctioned by Source God to share. And that can be any topic. And some of you that have attended the webcast, you know that. So on Sundays, 10:30 a.m. California time, 1:30 p.m. New York time, you can listen live. And you can also listen to the recording. So a lot of people just listen to the recording and some attend live. Much love. Time release truth. Make sense? N'est-ce pas? Appropriate waking up. As gentle as possible. Shocking people is shocking to them. Actually shocks the nervous system and you get PTSD. You can go through spiritual awakening and end up in PTSD. I am a little bit right now. This has been an intense year of near-death experiences and Kundalini reawakening and overload and some, what seems like spiritual attacks, but it's really my own soul orchestrating it to get me to wake up, depending on what level you look at it from. And I have to be very gentle with myself a little bit. All right. I wish you the same time. I wish you an elegant as possible reawakening to yourself. Much love.